Good. I'm glad.
Alright, I'm gonna start recording now.
Okay. Now.
Are you also recording?
Yeah, I've been recording the whole
You've
time.
been recording this whole time?
Yeah, because I didn't know when you would record.
You're such a trickster, tricky little cherub.
Yeah, I'm like Loki, or Puck,
Ooh.
or, other tricksters, Coyote,
I
Anansi.
I love trickster characters. I love their energy and they like resonate with my personality.
Yeah, like the guy from Hunchback.
Clopen, yes.
Yeah, Klopan. Okay,
Clopan.
so, Syd, so your birthday is tomorrow?
Yes, it
Is that
is.
right?
It is tomorrow, August 14th. Yeah, correct.
Cool. Thing.
Yeah.
Actually, Huron's birthday was last week, so your birthday's very close together.
Yeah, he
Uh,
mentioned that and I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy. We're both Leos."
oh my god, there's so many Leos around here. But for his birthday, I got him a pack of Gargoyles trading cards. Did you know that this, like, even existed?
I did not. I don't look into enough
I had no
gargoyle
idea,
toys for
but
some
okay,
reason.
but like, the coolest part of these trading cards is a bunch of them are like cardboard stands with different characters. So like you can turn the card into like a stand, and then I guess like the idea is for kids to play around with them.
Okay.
But would you like to guess what characters are represented in these stands?
I'm guessing characters from the show.
Well, yeah, it's show characters, but like the main characters are represented. Like we have Goliath, and
Okay.
like the main
I
five
figured.
gargoyles. There's Demona. There's Xanatos. Um, there's Elisa. So okay, so all those characters. There's one other character, and I want you to guess who this one remaining character might be. Who they made a cardboard stand for.
Please. Please tell me.
It's not. It's not who you want it to
God
be.
damn it!
I'll say that right now.
Why do you gotta build up my hope just to bring me
I'm
down?
sorry, I didn't mean to.
Okay, let me think now. I don't know, Hudson?
Yeah, well, Hudson's there. Like, all the main gargoyles
Yes.
are there.
Okay.
You're not. I don't know. You're not gonna get it. I don't know why I'm even having you.
Okay, I'm
Through
not
this
gonna get
charade.
it, so
Okay.
who be it?
The remaining character is Tony Dracon, who they gave a stand to.
Are you fucking kidding me?
None of the pack are in it. Macbeth
Are
isn't
you
in it.
fucking...
But Tony
What?
Dracon.
I actually hate that.
This cartoon is actually very weird. Like I imagine it was only made like season 1 must not have been finished when these cards came out.
Yeah, that's
Because
the only
the
thing I
episodes
could
they cover,
guess.
like they cover the first 5, they cover the pack episode, and then they cover the episode we're going to cover today, The Edge. They skip over Macbeth's episode.
Oh.
They do have Dracon's episode,
was-
but yeah. So I imagine they skipped Macbeth's because that episode we know
Yeah,
had, like,
but
scheduling.
I would
problems.
rather have a Macbeth stand than a fucking Dracon stand.
I know. Actually, no, there's a bunch of like character cards in this set as well, but none of the pack are in. They're not represented in those character cards.
That infuriates.
Instead, they all share one card. It's just the pack gets their own just card with all 5 of them on it,
Okay.
which is not cool.
No, that's not
It's
cool
not
at
enough.
all.
I don't feel like.
No, I feel like I need, the full, if I'm gonna get, okay, it's like, if I'm gonna get gargoyle, like, merchandise, it has to be, like, good, and just, like, fulfilling to my mind, my weird little mind.
I don't know how much good merchandise there is. Although they did just release a board game.
I heard
Did
about
they?
that.
I didn't. That just came out. I haven't got my hands on it yet, but I really fucking want to.
Yeah, I would like to.
I want to play that. You have to come back over, and we can all play the Gargoyles.
I'm gonna come back over eventually soon.
Yes,
But yes,
we need that to happen.
we will. I haven't played a board game in forever, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, and I'm gonna beat you at it.
Probably.
I don't know why I went competitive there.
No,
Okay, welcome!
welcome everybody.
We didn't see you all come in. Welcome to the Loincloth Hour.
Oh my god, I'm not even dressed yet. What are you people doing
I'm
here?
not... Actually, no, I am dressed. I was going to go with your bit and be like, I'm naked, but no, I'm fully dressed right now.
That was
in my
exactly
living
what
room.
I was just doing, because I am actually dressed. Of course I'm dressed. Why you think I record this podcast just completely naked?
I mean, you're in Florida, so I know it's hot down there.
It is hot, but I have
Like, they wouldn't surprise me if you were naked.
Okay, all I'm wearing is a t-shirt and shorts, but, you know, that doesn't mean, like, fully naked. I'm just a hot little Florida boy who manages.
Well, anyway, this is a podcast where Syd and myself, Manicorn, go over sexy cartoon characters, mostly focusing on gargoyles.
Yes.
Those lovable scamps.
We've been watching the series in order and breaking down the episodes as we've gone on, and right now we are on episode 10, The Edge.
Oh my god, we're in double digits now.
I know, right? It's so wacky.
This is really exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, should we just start talking about this wacky episode? This is a strange one, I felt.
Yeah, it is. Not in the same way last episode was strange, but almost strange in the sense where... I mean, the animation is much better in this episode.
This is a really well-animated episode. I don't know if it deserves to be this well-animated, but, like, it looks really good.
Yeah, it does look very good. Miles better than last episode. But if we continue making comparisons, like, we're gonna be here for a while.
Yeah, just fuck last episode. Fuck Enter Macbeth, am I right?
Yeah, fuck
like,
Macbeth.
Is it Enter Macbeth or, like, Enter Macbeth?
Why did we not make a joke about that before?
It only
oh
just
my
occurred
god,
to me today.
that's so good.
But, you know, we have plenty of other jokes to make about this episode. The edging.
Okay.
I mean, the edge.
This episode starts out very, like, I think we just, like, get thrusted right into just the gay subtext, the low-key horny subtext.
I loved how this episode started.
Yeah.
I think this is fantastic.
Okay. So, I'm gonna let you take the reins on explaining how this
it's
starts.
like... It opens in, like, a dojo, and there's, like, Japanese music playing. Mm-hmm. And then, like, what the fuck? Okay, Xanatos and Owen are training together. They're both wearing, like, karate gis. Mm-hmm. And it's, like, a really tense standoff. There's Japanese woodwind instruments in the background. Like, it's super cliche. But then, like, I got really excited at this part, because Owen starts doing this incredible series of, like, badass kicks. Mm-hmm. Like, I love him, and I didn't expect this from Owen, because, like, usually he's more passive, but he knocks Xanatos, like, right on his ass, and Xanatos goes, like, skidding across the floor for, like, a really long time. Like, he went across the entire floor of this dojo.
His ass, like, pretty much, like, his ass, like, slid against the dojo floor as he was knocked down by Owen.
Yeah,
and it's like
it probably left burns.
Yeah,
on his butt cheeks,
probably.
Right?
Yeah. So, like, I'm not usually an Owen fan at all, if you haven't guessed by now, but, like...
How dare you?
But, like, this scene is kind of, you know...
I know, like, I showed you one cap from the scene, and you were like, suddenly I'm mildly interested in Owen
I know!
for the first time in my life.
Okay.
It's because he didn't have his glasses on, and he's, like, in a gi, and, like, he's showing, like, some skin. Mm-hmm. He reminded me of that, of Niles from Frasier in this scene. I don't know why.
I've never seen Frasier.
Oh, well, okay.
I will one day.
You will one day. Well, Niles is sort of like an Owen-like person on that show. Like, he's very proper. He sort of, like, has Owen's, like, body type. And he's funny. He makes me laugh. Oh, so he gets kicked across the floor. And then Xanatos is very impressed with Owen, first of all, because he's like, you've been practicing. That's the first time I've ever lost a match to you. And then Owen asks if he would rather that he pretended to lose. And Xanatos said, "I'd fire you if you did."
I love that.
Which is like a very Xanatos
Yeah.
line. Yeah, that's one of my favorite lines ever from him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a little jealous of Owen that like he gets to punch his boss and still get paid for it. Like that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty.
wanna be Owen
He
someday.
kicks his boss, not punches him. But yes.
Well, I mean, the punch,
He does
kick,
like a-
kiss, like whatever. He gets to do whatever he wants to Xanatos, and it's fine. It's cool.
Yeah, they have that kind of relationship.
But Xanatos is like, I think he's pouting here because he's just like he's very quiet as he's getting up, and like Owen has to ask like if he's all right.
No, like Owen like offers to help him up, but like Xanatos like just shoos him away and gets up on his own.
Yeah, he's like, no, like I'm still manly enough to get up by myself.
This whole episode is like just like we're exploring Xanatos' sexuality.
Yeah, like and like how it's tied intrinsically to his pride, and like how he actually like he's worried that he might have lost the edge. You know, as flabby as he is now, he won't last a week in a Central American war.
Oh Jesus! I wonder if him and Dingo would get along.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that he's fucked Dingo.
Yeah, I mean,
like, at least a couple times.
who hasn't? Dingo's just like
no one. Everyone has fucked Dingo.
Everyone's fucked
except for. No, never mind. Everyone has. But so Xanatos is like, no, like I'm totally a-okay. Like don't be ridiculous, even worrying about me. Then he asks, what's next on the agenda, and Owen says that would be the meeting with the Emir at 2, and Xanatos is just like, tell him to be here at 1, which is like, okay, like he has to have a power move now to like reclaim his own pride.
yeah.
Then Xanatos heads for the showers, and Owen heads in after to blow him, I'm assuming.
No, yeah, no. He has to like make sure that Xanatos is properly showered. He rubs the soap on him and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. But by the way, you know the Emir that they mentioned? Apparently that's an actual character who will be in the show.
Oh god,
later,
I can't keep.
But not in this
Oh
episode.
my god.
But okay, you know the episode, you know this one, when like Jackal becomes like a god being?
I do.
Like the Emir is in that same episode.
Oh, okay.
I had to. That was what it said on the Gargoyles wiki, that they're meant to be the same character.
Oh.
So that's some trivia. Anyway, okay. Next scene, we see a very. I think this is a beautiful shot of the clock tower. Like there's beautiful colors. It's like daytime, nearing sunset. And this is where the Gargoyles now live as of last episode.
Yes.
So we pan down, we see the city street, and Elisa is like lugging this big TV set like up the street into the clock tower.
It's not like a big
then
TV set, but it's like, you know, just one of those.
Like it's big for her.
One of those old clunky TV sets from like the 90s.
Like a box TV set. And she's like struggling to get the front door to the police station open when Matt Bluestone walks up.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Matt Bluestone in this. God damn it.
It's fine.
You know, it's more like Matt Blandstone.
Well, I really. I mean, I really don't know how to feel about Matt in general.
Why? Does he confuse you? Like, sexually?
No, not sexually. I feel like Matt, for me growing up, was kind of like the self-insert male OC.
I sort of feel like that, too. Like, there's nothing wrong with him, per se, but it feels like he's just inserted into the cast as, like, a normal guy for, like, normal guy people to identify with.
Nah, he's not. He's not
know.
entirely normal. He believes in like every conspiracy theory he hears.
Yeah, like that's the one interesting thing about him, and like even that's annoying because the rest of him, I just like there's no character there. I feel he's extremely boring, and like even in this episode, like I noticed this, like it feels like he has Botox face because like his expressions like never really change. Like he's not. it doesn't feel like he's animated.
He looks like
literally animated.
He
as
looks
much
like
as the
he's
other
made of
characters are.
clay.
Yeah, but like not like clay-faced, because that would be awesome.
Oh no, I wish it were.
He's just really boring, and he doesn't like emote very much. But anyway, so he shows up and he's like, "Hey, need any help?" And like he opens the door for Elisa, and like he makes some stupid joke like that she's turning a TV in, so he's like worried about missing the late show tonight, and she's all like, yeah, and get away from me. But as she's going in, she drops like the remote control to the TV on this tree, and he picks it up and he follows her.
Right.
I hate Matt. Anyway, I'm gonna say I hate him.
He hasn't really done anything yet.
I know he hasn't done anything yet for me to hate him, and like he probably never even will. It's just like he just bothers me for some reason.
It's because he's just like a stupid like subplot to kind of complicate like just the main plot a little further. Like you know Elisa's trying to get shit done, but like, oh, she's got to bring her partner with her.
Yeah, like he's usually an obstacle for her to like get past, because like she has to keep the guards a secret from him while also like helping them out. So it's just like he's just sort of this annoying.
That doesn't even last that long though, does it? Because like I vaguely remember
it doesn't. This is status quo for a while. I don't know how long it lasts. A bunch of episodes. You know, Matt reminds me of the secret agent guy from the Iron Giant, if you remember that.
Oh,
movie.
Jesus Christ.
Kent Mansley. Just like they have a very similar, like they look very close to each other.
See
and
it.
Also, and that guy was also a conspiracy nut.
Yeah.
Except Kent Mansley was like more fun to have around. I don't know. I feel like Kent's job is the one that Matt Bluestone like wants to have.
Yeah, that's probably.
I don't know why
true.
Matt's a police officer, to be honest.
Yeah,
he should be in the
that's
FBI.
not even like explored. He's
just like
looks like an FBI agent with like the trench coat and everything.
Yeah, I think he dresses for the job he wants to have, not the one that he's in.
Yeah.
But so inside we see our beautiful, tough Captain Chavez. And Elisa is like flipping out at her because Elisa's just been assigned a partner. Because now that she's back on duty, they want to keep her safe. Which is bullshit, because Elisa even brings up, she's like, me getting shot was an accident.
Yeah, but
like,
they don't even
100%
know that is the thing.
Yeah, they still think that Drayton was behind it, probably. I don't know. Elisa's leg is fine now, by the way. Like, she doesn't need her crutches anymore. She's healed between episodes.
Yes.
So Captain Chavez, like, opens the door, and, like, Matt was, like, dramatically standing right behind it, waiting for them to do that. And he comes in. His expression has still not changed, by the way, this entire fucking episode. He's, like, had the same bland, like, half smile on his face the entire time.
I'm gonna.
I can't
hold
even.
On. Yeah, I'm gonna look at something really
I can't
quick.
even deal with him.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Okay, just like explain what he does.
Well, he comes in. Captain Chavez sort of introduces him by saying that she worked with him during that Drayton business.
Yeah, because we saw him for like a brief 3 seconds.
Yeah. Even though all he fucking did was drive the car and then like failed to follow Drayton, because like Drayton just lost him very easily, it seemed like. And then Matt's all like, "Oh, you dropped this," and he hands Elisa the remote control, which is like, fuck you, buddy. Fuck off. The remote control is fucking huge, by the way, because it's the 90s.
Yeah, of course.
It's just like...
I mean, like, the TV is also kind of clunky. I believe there's even a few... There's, like, a few antennas, I think, that are also there.
Oh, yeah, like, even when I was growing up, though, like, in the 90s, like, we didn't have antenna TVs. Like, this must be an old set that she has from somewhere, or if she picked up at a garage sale or something.
Yes, exactly.
But so as they're leaving the office, Elisa is saying, like, yeah, I'm sure you're a great cop, but, like, I don't want a partner, so go away and leave me alone. And Matt responds, like, hey, I understand. Problem is you have a partner. Me.
Yeah, that line...
We just have to make the best of it.
That line's kind of like that annoyed me a little. It's like
everything he says is annoying, but that line especially, he's just like,
he's like an annoying
Uh,
like little brother you can't get rid of, and you want to do cool stuff, but like he's always there.
he's always there. And then Elisa's like, ugh, there must be some kind of conspiracy going on to make my life difficult. And then he says, wouldn't surprise me. Which is our first indication he's also like a fucking weirdo, in addition to being annoying. Because like he believes in conspiracies and shit. That's like his one characterization that they keep giving him, is he's a conspiracy nut. But okay, so she ditches him for a couple minutes. She's like, I'll meet you outside in 20 minutes. Like, I have to do something else first. And she goes upstairs to check in on her gargoyle friends.
Yay!
Which, yeah, it's like, I feel like if this was like a live action sitcom, there'd be like audience applause as we see the gargoyles. So there's like a secret staircase that Elisa has to pull out in order to like get up to the attic area where the gargoyles are. So like it's more secret than I actually thought it was. I forgot that there was like shit you had to do to even get to them from the police station. So upstairs they have a bunch of stuff now. Like I think she's been bringing stuff up to them for like a while now. Because Hudson has like his lazy boy chair. Broadway, you see he has a bunch of like pots and pans and kitchenware. And the Broadway like goes over to help with TV because they're besties now, and it's like strong men helping strong women that are really cute.
Just platonic friendships all around. It's very cute. Yes.
Elisa almost falls and dies right after that because Lexington is being fucking irresponsible. He's playing with the remote control car like right by her feet, and we've already seen Elisa fall off high places and almost die like 2 or 3 times by now. So she tells him to like slow it down. I'll give you a ticket, which is like she does like cute moments with them.
Yeah, of course.
Let's see. Then they tell her that Goliath is down in the library. So she goes down to see him. And this is a detail I just noticed for the first time, I think, but the library is, like, actually a separate building from the police station.
Oh.
It's like, I always thought it was in, like, the attic area where they all were for some reason, but no, like, the camera pans down and, like, it's, like, the next building over from the station. So I guess it's just, it closes at night, and that's when Goliath goes down there to read his books.
Yeah, no, there's a lot going on with, like, the whole setup of just where the gargoyles are staying that I never really recollected from memory. But, I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's, like, that way, like, if like, you could get to the clock tower super easily, then it's, like, everybody would, like, know how to get there, and they, like, anybody could walk in on the gargoyles, so...
Right,
I guess
their secret would be revealed.
Yeah, so I guess it makes sense, that...
So, like, they established it all right here, but, like, it goes by really fast, and then, like, they never really bother, like, even talking about it after this episode, I don't think. I don't know. Like, the Gargoyles don't spend a lot of time worrying about being discovered, either. Like, I don't think they actually care very much.
No, I mean, it's like, you know, they have to exist.
Yeah. But, so, okay, so Elisa goes down to the library, she wanders in. I don't know how she gets in if the library's closed. I don't know how Goliath got in either.
She's like matter. A policewoman.
Yeah. She finds him perched on, like, a stepladder, reading a book. She asks him what it is, and he's all like, Dostoevsky. And she says, yeah? Who's it by? And he looks at her like, what the fuck? I thought you were smart. And then she's all like, just kidding. Just like, okay. Yeah, she's in a wacky mood today,
I love
guess.
She's trying to, like, I mean, like, Goliath is a very moody individual, and I can see, like, her trying to implement a sense of humor around him.
He is. And, like, she doesn't even know how moody he is yet. Because right after that, like, he starts going in on, like, a hate-on for Xanatos, and he's talking about how Xanatos has, like, driven them from their home and, like, forced them to live here instead. And Elisa, like, her opening joke wasn't good enough, so she tries to tell that by saying, but, like, hey, look on the bright side, though. You lost a castle, but you gained a library. And, like, it doesn't work. Like, nothing that she's saying is working. Goliath almost breaks this big-ass book he's holding by, like, bending it in half. which is amazing. But he just keeps like depression spiraling.
Yeah,
about how unfair
the
everything
thing
is.
about Goliath, like especially in the first season, is like he's very emotionally compromised as a leader and as a character, and it shows in a lot of instances. I mean, he's not like an idiot, but like he's very just damaged.
Yeah, I mean, I think he has every right to feel the way he does because they did get a shit deal on this.
Yes, they did.
But Elisa, like, she keeps trying to like put some positive spin on it because she's all like, okay, Xantos won't be on top forever, and what goes around comes around, and like she wouldn't want his karma.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is, like, these are nice things to say. But then Goliath, I think he ends the scene, he says, like, if only I could make him feel what I feel now.
Oh, mutual
like,
feelings.
Oh yeah, he wants Xanatos to feel fucked in the ass just like he feels right now.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
I
feel like I'm not adding as much to like all the plot that's going on.
I mean, I'm just going. Like, if you have stuff to add, just like stop me. Just say shut the fuck up for a second. I have stuff to say.
All right. Okay. If you're cool with it.
I absolutely am cool with it.
All right.
Because otherwise, I'm just gonna get through this episode and just go full steam ahead.
I'm also doing weird edits of Matt Bluestone's face. Like,
No.
Don't worry about it.
I don't want to look at Matt Bluestone for any reason.
It's fine. No.
Okay.
I took away his face in one of them.
Okay. Did you put someone else's face?
No, he's just like a.
It's just a blank.
He's just a creepy no-face man.
Okay, but like, if you did that, I feel like his scenes would not be any different than they are now.
I want to take his scenes and take his face away, and then every time he talks, you just hear like muffled noises.
Or like the Charlie Brown like voice, like murmur murmur murmur.
See, that would make the episode, I think, like 20 times better if that happened.
I fully agree. To be honest, it would make it so much more fun.
She has this weird no-face partner that follows her around.
Okay, so we go back to the loft where the Gargoyles all are. Now Elisa is like showing them the TV. She's saying like how she's sorry that like it sucks and it's old, but like, hey, you have a TV now. But Hudson's all like, oh, it's a grand gift, lass. And then I think they're like, I don't know if they're flipping channels or if they just see David Xanatos like come on the television.
Yes.
But Brooklyn is like super quick with the remote. He is on it. He hits the unmute button like as soon as they see Xanatos. And he's being interviewed. Let's see, I wrote this part down. He's being interviewed on TV. He's at a museum. Mm-hmm. And so the interviewer says, "This is Travis Marshall at the Museum of Modern Art, or one of the world's most priceless jewels, the Eye of Odin, is being donated by David Xanatos from his private collection. This is quite the philanthropic act, Mr. Xanatos. The eye is worth $1 million. Just give it away?" So, Syd.
Yes.
I looked up Travis Marshall.
Oh, jeez.
And
oh, jeez.
He shows up a lot.
Oh my god.
I had no fucking idea. This is his first episode,
This is the guy who's interviewing Xanatos right now?
Yeah,
okay.
on the TV.
I don't know who that is.
Like, apparently, like, anytime there's a news broadcast from this point on, like, chances are it's going to be Travis Marshall. He's, like, their all-purpose go-to guy for this.
Okay.
So you can look forward to his smarmy face coming back.
His smarmy. His smarm.
His smarm. And the other first appearance right here, of course, is the Eye of Odin. Which, like, yeah, it doesn't really do anything this episode, but we see it, and it will be important later on. I actually did a bit of research on this episode, and apparently the Eye first appeared in the Gargoyles Sega Genesis game.
There's a Gargoyles Sega Genesis game?
Yeah, see, that was my reaction too, because I didn't even know that.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And I haven't played it myself, so if anyone out there has played this game, like, please write us an email about it, because I don't know anything about this game. But apparently Greg liked the idea of the Eye of Odin enough that like he took it from the game and like put it into his show too.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I did a little, like, there's a little page on it from the Gargoyle wiki. Like, the only thing I know is that, like, there's an evil wizard in the video game, and, like, he goes to the present, and he enchants robots that Goliath has to fight. I don't even fucking know, but it sounds crazy.
I want to play a Gargoyles video game so bad.
I know, I do too. Like, it probably sucks, but I do
yeah,
play
but
it.
like, you know.
Okay, so Xanatos says something like, "Well, Travis, I just felt the eye should be shared with the world instead of locked away in my personal museum. Besides, it's a great tax write-off." And Travis says, "A grand gesture from a man known for grand gestures."
Wow.
Which, like, there's so much smarm happening here. At this point is when Goliath just fucking flips out, like, roars. I thought he was going to destroy the TV, but he just leaves the room.
God, Lisa would be so pissed.
I know.
Yeah, but no, he just like he runs away to like go pout in a corner, I guess.
Yeah, like he doesn't even just like storm out. He like runs out.
The only reason like we see him run out is to make us like possibly think that he has something to do with what happens later, but it's like we know that's not the case.
Yeah. But back at the museum, let's see. Our problematic fave, Travis Marshall, is kind of getting a dig in at Xanatos because he's saying something like if you keep it up, New York might even forget about your prison record. And Xanatos gets like testy. Like he keeps smiling, but he says like, "I made a mistake, Mr. Marshall. I paid my debt to society.
You got a little.
All I'm trying to do now is give something to benefit others. Would you rather I kept the eye?" Which is like, oh, like he's like, "If you don't like me, I'll take my ball and go home." You little fucking.
He got a little bitchy there.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
And then Owen comes in with his usual perfect timing and tells him that the limo is ready. And Xanatos like leaves extremely passive aggressively, saying he's like, "Yeah, I know when I'm not wanted," and he just like leaves. So I feel like they're sort of like trying to, I don't know, like establish like a Travis Marshall Xanatos conflict, even though. Like Travis, I don't know. I don't know if anything comes of this because I don't even remember that Travis was a character who existed.
I mean, I think it's just I don't know. I think it's just like a scene that shows Xanatos doesn't like being like reporters, or he doesn't like being like talked down to, even like subtly.
I think because he already feels like he's sort of in a position of weakness because he lost the martial arts fight to Owen. So now he's like, oh, like now this guy's messing with me? How about fuck you?
Again, it's like literally this whole episode is just because Xanatos can't handle being told no. Like, losing.
Like, he can't handle it. And it's really funny because this is like everyday life to like anyone else. Like, we don't win all the time, but like Xanatos can't fucking deal with it.
He's a bit of a baby.
I kind of feel like Goliath should have kept watching TV, though, because he would have seen Xanatos get roasted then.
Yeah.
On live TV. That might have made him feel a little bit better.
Yeah, well, Goliath, he probably would have found a way to make it more moody. He probably would have been like, oh, it's not enough. He needs to be humiliated and dominated.
Needs to be punished. He needs to be spanked over my knee.
He needs to be spanked bare-assed on live TV, says I, Goliath from Gargoyles.
Yes. Yeah, definitely Goliath's point of view, not my own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but then, so we go to Night at the Museum. Not the movie. It's just Night at the Museum.
I wish it were the movie.
And we see, like, a security guard walking around. There's a really stupid joke, because he goes up to the Scream, that famous painting, and he's all like, "You and me both, pal." Just like,
I love that. I love that
I looked
scene.
it up, by the way, and the Scream is not a part of
maybe it's like a copy.
The Met's collection. It could be a copy.
Like we couldn't get the real thing, but here's a replica, just to kind of make up for it.
Yeah, they just wanted to make a fine arts joke. You know these.
I love all the New Yorker scenes in Gargoyles.
That is an extremely New York scene. Like I've had similar things.
Like they make me so happy because they remind me of all the New Yorker scenes from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Yes, like they have a similar energy.
I love it. I like that New Yorkian energy in like in TV shows and movies. But yes,
But
that
so
scene made me
then
giggle.
it was good. Then there's an alarm sounds off though, just there's a break in. He runs down the hall. Uh, Jump cut to Elisa, who I'm pretty sure is internally screaming in this scene because she's driving around in her car and Matt Bluestone, I swear to fucking
Oh my God.
he's talking to her about the goddamn Illuminati.
They're called the Illuminati. Way I hear it, they run everything. Even the president works for them.
Okay, but like what he said, like they're called the Illuminati. I had to pause that. I'm like, did he just say what I think he said? And
Like the most pompous way possible. Like she's like he's assuming she's never even heard of the Illuminati. But also like he's mansplaining them to her.
Okay, but like this scene is so funny to me because like I had my childhood best friend for like years when we were teenagers tried to convince me like that the Illuminati was real.
Oh my god.
So I have a lot of like personal experience with what Elisa's going through in this situation.
So you knew Matt Bluestone growing up.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. So yeah, I was watching this scene. I'm like, I've been through this whole thing with the Illuminati, and this is such a meme to me. Just hearing this.
Like, it reminded me of that one meme of, like, the guy at a party, like, talking to that one, like, very disinterested girl's ear, and she's just, like dead staring ahead of herself, like, dying
I noticed
inside.
you
That's what I
tweeted
felt
about
like.
that, and
I
I
did.
like
was a tweet
that.
I made.
I like that tweet. But yeah, no.
Oh my god.
Just, what?
Like, the annoying thing is, though, that, like, he's right, because the Illuminati does exist in this universe.
Wait, does it?
Yes, it does.
Wait, who are the Illuminati in this universe?
There's a whole bunch of them. Well, there's a few episodes of the cartoon that, like, I think there's at least one episode where we learn more about the Illuminati. And then in the comics, there's a big thing where we find out, like, who certain members are.
Holy shit.
Oh, right, but even... This is going to be a spoiler, everyone, but remember when...
Whoa.
We might... I don't know if we should cut that or not.
No,
That's a spoiler.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it in, but I'm gonna reverse all the audio, so, like, people just be confused.
What?
I can do...
Like Twin Peaks style?
Yeah, I could just do it Twin Peaks style.
Weird.
That's weird. No, it's great. What? No, I'm not actually gonna do that.
But, okay, so, what the fuck's... Okay, I forgot his name. But Matt even says that the president is a member of the Illuminati, in this very quick conversation.
Well, no shit.
Well, okay, that isn't technically correct, but it's true enough because the chief of staff at the White House actually is, as we learn from the comic series. And he controls the president since like the
I'm loving all this
or something.
all this like spicy Illuminati lore in Gargoyles.
This is deep lore. You should, Sid, you have to read the comics. Like, there's so much.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
It's so much good shit.
Well, send me the directories to these comics, and I will read them.
I will. I should have given them to you while you were here.
Yeah, you didn't.
God damn it. I forgot. But okay, so Lisa has a really funny line though, where she's all like, "Look, Matt, you need to know something about me. I don't care about UFOs, Loch Ness, or secret societies." Which she discovers every single one of those things are real by the end of the show.
I love it.
I can't. I fucking can't right now.
It's fine.
But they receive the alert about the break-in. So they, like, speed on over to the museum. Where we see a shadowy gargoyle silhouette, which I think, like, for the first time isn't Demona. It's somebody else. But we see it knock out a security guard, and then, like, it breaks through a window, getting away. It's also making, like, extremely obvious robot noises this whole time.
Yeah.
But we, as viewers, are apparently supposed to still think it's Goliath. Because it looks like his silhouette. Because, like, when Matt and Elisa see it, Matt pulls out his gun, and then Elisa is all like, "Stop! Don't!" And, like, there's extremely tense music happening. Like, they're trying to convince us that this is like, oh no, Goliath might be hurt, but like, we know it's not him. Because Goliath doesn't make robot noises when he moves around. Like,
Yeah. No,
it's very weird. I don't know.
He's just in a very mechanical mood today. Like
Yeah, you know, sometimes
he sounds like a robot when he doesn't do like his morning workout.
he's making those sounds himself, like with his mouth as he moves around.
Yeah.
But okay, so Matt does fire his gun though, and the bullet bounces off this gargoyle figure. And then Elisa's like, oh, like, I guess it wasn't Goliath. And then Matt's all like, why'd he try to stop me? And she has to explain that, like, you don't just shoot at things if you don't know what they are. Like, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I thought it was stupid that he even did that, and her explanation was actually really good. Like, her excuse was like, you don't know what that thing could have was. You don't know if it would explode or not.
Yeah, like, that's the explanation she gave, and he's all like, yeah, I guess. I'm just like, Matt, like, what the, like, how long have you been on the Force, for one thing? Like, I want to know this.
Where did you come from, Matt?
Is he new? Who trained him?
Why are you here?
Who's responsible?
Why are you here?
What conspiracy led to him being here?
I think he became a cop to, like, uncover more conspiracies.
Yeah, but that's stupid, because, like, cops don't do that.
Well, I mean, you know, Twin Peaks.
He was an FBI agent!
Oh, well, you know, same potato.
Okay, back at Captain Chavez's office, she has, like, a literal scrapbook-looking thing full of gargoyle photos, and she's telling Elisa, like, that, like, they've been keeping track of them, and, like, the places they've been spotted in, which is funny, because Elisa's response is like, this makes no sense. Like, she's amazed that there's this much information out there about gargoyles, but, like, we've seen them just running around in public, like, multiple times already.
Yeah. Specifically in the last episode, when they were literally just, like, when, like, Goliath was literally following Bronx through, like, the city streets.
Yeah, so, like, I guess Elisa didn't know about that. Like, I guess Goliath didn't tell her, like, oh, by the way, I just ran through Times Square the other day, because it takes her by surprise.
Yeah.
And then Matt comes in, he turns on the TV, we see Travis Marshall, our problematic fave, who's giving, like, a show about the break-in at the museum. He has security footage, and we see a gargoyle come in and take the Eye of Odin, so we know that that's what got stolen. And it's funny that even, like, the security footage, the gargoyle's, like, still in silhouette, like, we still don't get a good look at the fucking gargoyle. So, Elisa goes upstairs for a gargoyle meeting, and they just sort of go over everything that we already know. And then Brooklyn thinks there might actually be other gargoyles around, maybe, because he's like, hey, like, maybe we're not the only ones. And then Elisa's like, no, because I heard Max Bullet bounce off, like, metal. So then they're like, okay, it must be Xanatos' steel plan.
I love this scene because, like, they figure everything out super fucking quickly, and I love it.
Yeah, like, it's nice to see these characters, like, being smart. It's very nice.
Like, it's not like, okay, we have to keep guessing even though we already know.
Yeah, like, sometimes they act like they don't know things, and I'm just like, no, like, guys, like, stop being idiots, please. Like, you know it's not... but they don't do that this time. They're very good this time.
Yes.
So then Hudson asks, like, a very good question. He's like, why would Xanatos donate the jewel to the museum and then have it stolen? Because, like, that doesn't make any sense if you don't know anything about, like, taxes and insurance and shit.
Yeah.
But since he doesn't, he's like, what the fuck? Yeah. Okay, so Goliath tells Hudson and Bronx that they're gonna stay and guard the clock tower, which makes me sad, because they always have to fucking do that.
Yeah.
And the rest of them are gonna basically go and murder Xanatos.
Yeah.
Because they think that the Steel Clan is up to some shit.
So, I really think it's a stupid idea on their part, though, because it's like they're literally... They have the upper hand of knowing what Xanatos is doing, but, like, by actually going there, they're playing into his little evil deeds.
Yeah, like, it's stupid. Like, it's stupid unless they're actually going there to just straight up kill him, in which case, that's the best plan they could do. But in this case, because it is a cartoon show, they're basically just gonna, like, growl at him for a little while and then leave.
Yeah,
which just tips Santos off that now, like, he knows what they know now, and yeah, like, it is stupid, I agree with you.
Yeah, that is what happens.
Yeah, so, but Elisa tries to stop them. She, like, runs up the stairs to get in front of them, and she's all like, no, you can't do that, it would be a bad idea. And then Goliath, like, pushes her out of his way, and just, like, goes past her.
See,
like,
it's
geez.
like, Lisa's, like, the most reasonable fucking person on this show right now.
Yeah, she usually is.
I mean, she does have the upper hand of, like, you know, not being, like, completely fucking traumatized like Goliath is, but, like, at the same time, that she's still trying to help and be the voice of reason.
I was just sad that he didn't even, like, listen to her, and then he pushed her. He's just like, scoot to the side. I'm bigger and stronger, I don't need to listen to you, and then he just, like, flies away. Ugh. I don't know what she sees in this man.
Titties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so Elisa,
we haven't even talked about how fucking, like, detailed his boobs are in this
they seem
episode.
Slightly bigger than usual today, too. I don't know if it's just me. They look very nice. They're on point today.
Mm-hmm.
But Elisa runs down to the street. She has to do so much fucking running this episode.
Yeah.
She's trying to get in her car, and then, god fucking damn it, Matt Bluestone is right goddamn behind her. He's all like, hey, partner. And she has to explain that, like, this is one time that I do not want a partner. And he says, yeah, well, that's usually the one time that you... No, that's usually the time that you need one the most. Which I fucking hate and is stupid. And, like, it looks like she's gonna say he's stupid too, but then she's just like, just get in my goddamn car. Like, fine.
Yeah, like, she legit does not have time for his bullshit right now.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, at Castle Wyvern, Xanatos is just out on his battlements, in his trench coat. It looks like he's waiting for the Gargoyles to show up, which he is, and which they do. They all swoop down. Goliath goes down to have a face-off with Xanatos, while the trio just, like, stays up on the battlements, like, perched.
They're like his backup.
Yeah, like, they're gonna fucking rend Xanatos limb from limb if he does anything they don't like.
Yeah.
You know, I tried to pay attention to what Goliath said in this scene, but I sort of didn't, because I kept getting distracted by his boobs.
Yeah, no, his tits are huge, this whole fucking,
like,
interaction. I kept
keeps,
taking
like,
screenshots.
He was doing a lot of flexing, too, because when he's angry, he flexes a lot.
He does.
I don't think Xanatos was paying a lot of attention either.
it's like I wanted to do that thing where, because I keep talking about wanting to do that game where it's like I post random images of his titties and he gets his mood.
What's his emotion?
This episode would have been perfect if he weren't just goddamn angry the whole episode.
He's angry the whole time.
I guess that's when his titties are on fleek, is when he's just like super angry and his chest is just all puffed out and he...
Yeah,
you know,
oh my god. Can you imagine, like, okay, when he and Elisa are dating, can you imagine her just, like, intentionally, like, saying things that she knows will make him angry just to, like, get a load of his big titties?
I would.
Oh my god. She'd be like, hey, Goliath, look at this trending thing on Twitter. He'd be like, ugh! And his boobs would just, like, get enormous.
Oh my god. It's like that scene from, like, the Sinbad movie where with, like, Kale, and, like, Sinbad's like, put a shirt on before you poke someone's eye out.
Yes. Yes. So, okay, downstairs, Elisa and Matt bust into, like, the lobby of the fucking building that the castle's on top of, and they're running for the elevators, and this is really funny, because the lobby's completely empty, like, no one else is there, but then, like, Owen appears, like, out of nowhere, like, I don't know where he came from. But he's right there all of a sudden, and then he's just like, he's all like, Xanatos is in an important meeting. And Lisa's just like, she tries to get past him like 6 or 7 times, and he keeps like getting in her way. And like, until finally he has to like spread his arms out, and he's like, no, bitch, you can't come in here.
And then she's like, but you let me in before, and then he just looks at her and he says, things change.
Uh-huh. I don't suppose you have a warrant. And she's all like, ugh, warrant talk. Like, it's my worst enemy as a police officer. Up above, Xanatos is giving, like, a very evil speech about how, like, the Gargoyles gonna be, like, hunted by the rest of New York because of what he's doing with the Steel Clan bots, and then, like, once they're hunted, he'll be their only friend, and they'll have to come back to him for protection.
Yeah, no, this whole thing is
which is
just
crazy.
Like, see, it's like the Gargoyles are taking the whole thing seriously, and he's just like, oh, come on, guys. It's just, I don't know what the big deal is.
Yeah, because Goliath is like, yeah, because of you, that would happen. And Xanthus is like, oh, if you want to be picky, we won't get anywhere. Like, he's just totally... He's making a joke out of the whole thing, but, like, he's putting them in serious danger. And manipulating them.
It's so fucking evil because it's like they're not in like a good position to be put in this position. But like from Xanatos's like rich ass point of view, he just doesn't like get what they're so angry about.
Like, I honestly don't know why Goliath doesn't just straight up kill him in this part. Like, honestly, because Xanatos deserves it. Just like he's trying to like make them come back and then run experiments on them. Okay, Xanatos says, let's try to focus on the big picture, Goliath. I've got a research facility upstate where you and your friends can be comfortable and protected. And then he says, doesn't seem a difficult choice to me. Stay here in the city, be hunted down like animals, or be my guests in a safe haven. What do you say? Which is like, oh my god, like, the audacity of this bitch, like, right now.
Yeah, like, Xanatos lost... This is all because... He lost a fucking karate match to Owen.
I know. So now he has to go and just be like, he has to be the top dog to like everyone he can. Just to prove to himself that like he still got it.
Just at peak bitchiness. Like, just, oh my god.
And Goliath has a tantrum. He like wrecks a light pole on the way out, but like that's all he does.
Yeah.
And then he just like flies away. Like he should have just, bashed that rich man's head in. This is my opinion right now.
No, I mean, I'm sure most people would agree.
And Xanatos just calls after him, like, you're taking this much too personally. Oh my, like, fuck off.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
Down on the street again, we see Elisa and Matt going back to the car, since they couldn't get past Owen. And then Elisa looks up, she sees the Gargoyles all flying away. So then she, like, just starts running to the car, and then Matt has to follow. He's all like, oh, I can tell working with you will be good aerobics.
What the fuck,
God.
dude? He just needs to, like, stop.
He won't stop. But he does need to.
That angers me.
Flying back, like, it seems like Brooklyn is asking Goliath, like, what, like, Xanatos was saying. Like, it seems like they didn't even hear what Xanatos was saying. I don't know what. But Goliath is all like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, he's stewing, he's mad, he's in anger mode, and then he gets shot by a laser. It's the Steel Clan! They all just fucking... they fly out. Yeah, there's 3 of them, but one of them is red. But they're all just shooting at the Gargoyles like crazy with lasers. The Gargoyles like scrambling in midair to dodge like all this fucking shit all of a sudden. They're completely unprepared. Oh, excuse me. And then the people on the ground start freaking out too, because like they see all this fucking laser fire like just like up above them. Let's see. Animated. When the Gargoyles are flying around, it's almost like they're swimming through the air. It looks like just the way they're moving. I don't know. I just thought it was neat. But so, okay, like, Broadway gets shot first. He falls, like, down towards a roof, and then Lexington, like, swoops down to help him, but he gets shot too while trying to do that. So, like, just everything sucks right now. Broadway hits the roof first. He rolls into a brick wall, and then, like, one brick pops out of the wall and, like, lands on his head. It's very, like, waka waka, like, laugh, kids, this is a funny part.
Yeah, I it's so funny because, like, I thought that would, like, knock him out or something, but it doesn't. He's just kind of like, oh, what? And then
it's just like happens. A cartoony thing. But then, like, Lexington hits the roof, like, right after that, like, much more violently.
Yeah, he almost wipes out.
Yeah, like, he almost shatters a railing, and then, like, he's just straight up unconscious from, like, the blunt force trauma. So, like, okay. Brooklyn gets to be the cool one. So I feel like they're still setting him up to be, like, the secondary leader. So, like, he gets to attack one of the Steel Clan bots, but then he gets electrocuted from trying to do that. So he falls to the same roof, where Goliath catches him. Then Broadway comes over, so, like, all the Gargoyles are, like, together. Broadway carries Lexington over. And then the Steel Clan bot, like, knocks over another brick wall, and it falls, like, on top of them all. So they're all buried under bricks.
Isn't it like just like a random brick wall that's like on top of the building?
I don't know why there are these brick walls on top of buildings in New York City. I don't think that's normal.
The show. I don't know.
But like, yeah,
I don't know enough about buildings to dispute it though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there were buildings like that. I don't know. But they're buried in bricks.
Yeah,
like,
they all got destroyed by the fucking gargoyles.
Basically. Yeah. The Steel Clan, like, circles around, and then it looks like they're just gonna blast the gargoyles with their lasers, because the gargoyles are helpless. They're, like, mostly buried, like, their heads are sticking out, but that's pretty much it. But instead of doing that, the Steel Clan sort of, like, hovers in place for a while, like, ominously staring them down.
Yeah.
So Lexington, like, wakes up, and he's like, why aren't they attacking us? And Goliath says it's because they're, no doubt they're waiting to follow us back to our new home. And by the way, Goliath's boobs look especially big in this scene.
Yeah, they do, because it's like he's surrounded by like brick rubble, and like the more he moves around, like his boobies move around, the more like the brick rubble, the boob brick booble, brick booble.
Like the bricks like shift around his pecs as he's like turning and talking. Like it distracted me.
Yeah.
But like Broadway still doesn't get it though. He's like, but why? Why not just kill us? And do you want to tell what Goliath says to that?
Oh yeah, and Goliath is like,
because Xanatos doesn't want to destroy us. He wants to dominate us.
He wants to dominate us.
Like which is both like crudely subtextually like sexual and also very canon.
It's so good. Like, this is my favorite line from this episode, I think, because it's extremely true. But like,
yes.
Oh my, yeah, Xanatos canonically wants to dominate them. Yeah, and you could very easily read like sexually, because that's just how he acts towards them all the time.
I'm just like making stupid fucking edits of like random characters from the show over Matt Bluestone's face.
I don't know why you're doing that.
It's funny
don't
to
do
me.
that anymore.
I'm doing jackals right now.
No.
They all look like increasingly more interesting than his actual character design is the worst part.
Yeah, because they actually show emotion, I'm assuming. Whereas he doesn't.
I think Owen's actually looks the best.
Owen is so good.
Like,
I love Owen.
Like he's bland, but like not in the sense that Matt Bluestone is. So like his face over
Owen's
Matt's...
bland in a very interesting way.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I repeated it.
Yeah. Okay. But anyways, as they're on top of the rooftop facing down with the Steel Clan, down below it appears that just like New York and all these like spotlights and onlookers and civilians are looking up at like where these like fucking lasers were being shot out not too long ago. Or wait, am I ahead or am I behind?
Well, it's not. I didn't make a note of that, so I know what you're saying, though. I know what this is.
Yeah. So and down below there's this guy with oh wait, no, that's not till later. Okay.
No, I think that was around this part. There's an older gentleman there with a mustache.
So there is an older gentleman there with a mustache, and he's like just kind of like a side pedestrian. But like, I took a note of this for some reason. He has a weird like animation where he just kind of like, I guess he like okay, it looks like they animated him kind of like pandering to the right a little, but then like the cells like forgot to render and he's suddenly teleported back into his normal position.
Yeah, like he turns his head up, but then like I think like the animation cells go back to his starting point. Yeah, like with no like in between in place. So it's just like it looked weird. It was very obvious. At least once you pointed it out to me. I don't think I noticed it the first time.
Yeah, no, I look at weird things like that when I watch these episodes.
But there's like 100 people like looking up though, because there's this big fight going on, and Elisa and Matt pull up, and she goes up to Travis Marshall because he's there again. He's in like so much of this episode.
Yeah, he is.
And she's all like, "What's going on?" Like she's on a first name basis with Travis here, and he tells her that the urban myth about gargoyles just became urban reality. You know, he has a lot of nice quips. I feel like that's part of his job as a reporter.
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to just have those kind of quippy moments.
So, up on the building, Goliath's like going over their options. They can't leave the Steel Clan back to the clock tower, but they also can't stay where they are because it's almost sunrise. So, eventually, they decide to continue the fight somewhere more isolated, so they fly away. The Steel Clan follow. Down below, we see Matt, and like there's a guy next to him who has binoculars. Who the fuck has binoculars in New York City, like at nighttime on the street? I don't know why he does.
Tourists.
But yeah, probably. So he lifts them up to like look. Oh, what are these crazy flying things? And Matt just like takes this man's binoculars. Like, without asking, and he's also, like, glaring at this guy. I don't know why. But he just snatches them off his face.
First he takes the binoculars, and then he takes his soul.
Yeah, like, it seemed like. And, like, so he looks at the gargoyles through these binoculars. He's like, they're heading south. So, okay, they're heading south. The gargoyles fly out of the city, like, over the water, and then they're actually heading towards the Statue of Liberty. So blah blah blah. It's another fight.
Yeah.
It's really well animated, but it's still like I'll just go over the highlights.
Yes. Good. Yes.
Okay. So there is a highlight though. Broadway does this aerial stunt where he flies really fast. One of the Steel Clan is following him. And then Broadway veers up at the last second, and the Steel Clan bot crashes into the book that the Statue of Liberty is holding. It's very Looney Tunes. But then Broadway I don't know why he does this or what it means, but he extremely sensually and dominantly licks one of his fingers, and he just points down. He's flying.
It's such a short but well animated scene with him, and it's very.
I don't know what it means.
He has this very devious look on his face too as he does it.
He's looking at the camera. It feels like I feel like he's looking at me, and he's just like, "Yeah, you see what I just did to that robot? That's what I'm gonna do to your ass."
Oh my god!
It's just that's the look he has. It's just
okay.
I can't look at this without it seeming very sexual. And
Broadway is kind of like the goat this whole fight, honestly.
Yeah, he definitely is.
But yeah, no, that whole I feel like I don't know why he does that. I'm glad it happens though. I'm glad this exists.
Like, I think it's the equivalent of, like, him teabagging the robot, I guess.
Oh.
To be like, yeah, like, I just beat you, and now you're my bitch.
You know what we forgot to mention earlier?
What?
Brooklyn tries to, like, jump on the back of one of the Steel Clan and try to, like, take him out the way he did in, like, the 5th episode of Awakening. But he gets surprised when he's suddenly compulsively electrocuted by the Steel Clan.
Oh my god, is his electrocution tainted again? Oh my god.
Yes.
Do you think they knew that was his, like, sexual weakness?
Because it's like, no,
they would just...
it's just like, he gets electrocuted so much last episode, and it happens again by surprise here, and he has this kind of, like, knee-jerk reaction, like, oh my god, when it happens.
My god, like, I just got this enormous boner, fuck, not again!
Brooklyn likes to be electrocuted.
Okay, can you imagine, like, if Xanatos, like, what if Macbeth told Xanatos that, like, Brooklyn has electrocution taint? So Xanatos, like, programmed this in just for Brooklyn. To be like,
Yes.
oh, so he likes this, eh? Well, I'll give it to him. I'll give him more than he can handle. Oh my god.
And that happened earlier, though. And it happens again to Lexington right after Brooklyn... That happens again right here after Broadway does his little, like, sexual pointing down motion.
Yeah, it switches to Brooklyn and Lexington trying to fight their Steel Clan bot.
Doesn't Broadway also take this one out?
He does, yeah. So what happens is...
He's such a badass.
Lex tries to, like... He tries to do the same thing that Brooklyn did, but I guess he was unconscious, so he doesn't know that he'll just get electrocuted if he does it. He tries to get into its wiring, it looks like from the neck, but then he gets electrocuted. But then Broadway shows up and just chucks, like, the arm of the Steel Clan bot that he destroyed at the other one, and, like, the arm goes through its fucking body, and this other Steel Clan bot, like, falls to the ground and it explodes. Yeah, like, Broadway is the MVP of this fight.
Yeah,
he's wrecking all competition.
I feel like just rewatching season 1 has given me, like, a much grander new appreciation for Broadway, because I feel like I don't talk about him enough, and
he's so hot.
He's very hot, is the thing, and he's very, like, he's a great character. Definitely would be my favorite of the trio if Lexington weren't there. I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up between him and Lexington.
I know. I mean, I like all of them. I like their dynamic. They're all better when they're together than they are separately.
Better
they all
together.
uplift each other.
Yes.
Yeah. They're like 3 musketeers. Meanwhile, okay, Goliath has been, like, sexually air wrestling with the red Steel Clan member, like, this whole time.
Like, he's just been, like, very, like, grunty and just grappling around, like, the red Steel Clan member this whole time.
They land on the Statue of Liberty's head, and they're just, like, rolling over each other. Yeah, like, there's a lot of, just wrestling stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like there's any, like, ulterior thing, like, it's just a robot he's wrestling with,
Yeah,
right?
it's just a robot.
Yeah.
Goliath, like, rips off its laser gun because it's trying to shoot him, and then he gets judo flipped by this robot, which I feel like I've seen somebody judo flip someone before in this show, but, like, it's not coming to me right now.
Yeah, I don't know, but
that Goliath isn't down, though. Like, he gets back up. They go back and forth a couple times. The Steel Clan member keeps, like, using martial arts. At one point, he does, like, a sweet roundhouse kick at Goliath, which, like, sends him back. Like, he's holding his own. But then the trio lands all around them. So now it's, like, 4 against 1. And, like, now the Steel Clan bot is like, oh, like, fuck. They all start, like, slowly, like, advancing on him. Brooklyn's all like, give it up, dumpster face, which is a really stupid insult. Then we see a really, like, this scene was stupidly long, I felt like, because we just see the red Steel Clan member, like, looking at the destroyed remnants of, like, the other robots, and with, like, his, like, robot vision.
I love that little
This
like
is
red eye
stupid.
animation though. Oh, they
And
look
then, like,
so
under-
good though.
Yeah, but like this scene takes a long time. I felt like, and like each time it was like letters
Well,
would
they
appear
have-
below the robots. It's like destroyed.
Like,
It's just
no fucking shit.
Yeah, like we can see that. Thanks.
I really like just like the close up on like the red robot eye because it reminds me.
that looked nice.
It reminds me of like Clockwork from like the Sly Cooper series and his like scary red eyes and how they
Of
used to
course
give
it
me
does.
nightmares.
Oh no.
Yes. I mean, like, I think, like, I mean, it was, like, a good, like, nostalgic kind of, like, nightmare fuel. So, I mean, like, yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it's fine. Although, okay, so just this isn't really a spoiler at this point, but this Red Steel Clan member is not a robot. It's Xanatos in a Steel Clan member suit. But like, so that's the reason I think this scene is stupid, though, because like it's really long, has him looking through his robot eyes at these other robots, and then very slowly he has to have like the robot tell him that it's destroyed. But if it's Xanatos, wouldn't he just know by looking at things? Like, I don't.
Yeah,
it's
I don't
fine.
know.
It just makes
It's
him
fine.
looks a little slow. But anyway, so he's outnumbered. So then he just starts off his rocket pack and like flies away. And the Gargoyles let him. They're like, okay, we defeated him.
Yeah. And then, like, they hear, like, the authorities closing in on, like, a helicopter.
Yeah,
so they
a helicopter's coming.
They decide to bail as well.
Yeah, they're out of there. So, but inside the helicopter, we see Travis Marshall, along with Elisa and Matt, and then Elisa's brother Derek is piloting. Although he doesn't even have a line in this episode, but I guess
I
hitched
didn't.
a ride with him.
I didn't even notice him.
Yeah, that's Derek. Because we know he's a pilot.
I
Like,
forgot
this is
he
like
was
the
a
first time it's
pilot.
established. Like, I thought it was weird that he's here, but he doesn't have any lines, and like, no one acknowledges that he's even there.
He just exists. Maybe if
Yeah.
maybe if he were more like that in more of his episodes, he would be a better character.
Yes, he would be. And like, we can probably see it as a mercy that he doesn't talk in this episode.
Yeah.
But Travis Marshall is all like that. He's thanking them for the exclusive, and Matt says that he owes them one. It feels like there's a scene that they skipped over. I don't know, and like, I don't think anything comes of this interaction later on. Like, because Travis and Matt, I don't think they ever talked again. I don't know. Like, I could be wrong. I don't know. It probably just means that Travis eats Matt Bluestone's ass out later. Like, I
Probably.
that's the only thing that I got for them.
Do you want that image in your mind though?
Yeah, I do.
Interesting.
Is that a problem?
No, it's fine.
I think that all these fictional characters should be allowed to have rich sex lives in the imaginations of
even
of
Matt
me.
Bluestone though.
Yeah, it might loosen him up a bit. Get him to try, life on the wild side.
Wow.
I think he'd be into ass eating.
I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about Matt
Definitely.
Bluestone's sex life.
Okay, well, I'm so sorry. I thought this was a podcast about sexy cartoon
Yeah, but
characters.
Matt is not a sexy cartoon character. Is my
He-
point.
His face is stuck that way. It's a condition.
Like, okay,
Yes.
okay, but like, you're having sex with Matt Bluestone, POV,
Oh
and he's
my
just
God.
constantly just stone-faced looking at you, never breaking
Or
eye
or
contact,
he'd just still be talking about the Illuminati.
I mean, hell, that's not that's not the weirdest sex talk I've ever.
I've had worse dates.
Yeah.
Afterward, at the clock tower, Elisa and Goliath are having a little like one-on-one. She's telling him that the public's been reassured that the Gargoyles that they thought they saw were actually all robots, which is a very like pat resolution to the public knowing about Gargoyles. But I'll take it because it makes sense. Like this is a good resolution to this episode. And they sort of have another like romancy moment too, because Goliath's all like, I didn't write this part down, but he's all like, yes, we'll continue in our new home, and Elisa's like, yeah, we will, together.
We're not
Which
going to talk about how you shoved me out of the way earlier.
Thank you! I was trying to bring that up! I guess she forgave him for pushing her before.
I mean, it wasn't like a violent push.
It was gentle. He would just put her out of his way, and then he moved on. Like, it wasn't violent or anything.
No,
but I'd be pissed off.
It was still pretty fucking annoying. Mm-hmm. And then like down below, I think you see like Matt like talking with like the chief, the police
Captain
chief.
Chavez.
Captain Chavez, yes. And he's just like, I'm telling you, what I saw through my binoculars, it was not robots.
Through his binoculars!
Like, what the... like, literally!
He's claimed them now. They're his.
He stole those binoculars, and he's trying to make an assessment through binoculars he stole. Like, and
this is another example of the police, seizing property. He seized that man's binoculars and did not give them back.
No, he didn't. He still has them to this day. And that guy, I want that guy to make a return. Just be like, you stole my binoculars.
He's Matt Bluestone's biggest enemy.
Like, oh yes, like he's stalking him. He wants the binoculars back.
But yeah, so Captain Chavez is just she's like, sure you did, sweetie, like, whatever you said.
Like, Matt, you also believe, like, in the Loch Ness Monster, and
yeah,
North
like,
Dakota.
you believe in a lot of stupid shit, Matt. Like, maybe stop talking to me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's literally what everybody in the show is saying to him.
Poor Matt. He just needs another, crazy friend to talk to this stuff about.
He should talk with, Charlie Kelly about his conspiracies.
Yes!
Mm-hmm.
Charlie would buy all of it, because Charlie knows about, that there's stuff in this world that you can't explain.
Okay, so I'm gonna get off topic for Gargoyles, but Matt's conspiracy theories actually remind me of this actual experience I had with an Uber driver once who was insane.
Oh my god.
Did I ever tell you this story?
No.
Okay, so, before I could actually drive myself, as of, last year, I actually took, Ubers everywhere, and since, my mother and my father wasn't home because I still live with my family, I had to go pick up my brother from school, but I had to hire an Uber to take me there and take us back home. Right. So, I get into the car with this guy, and he's kind of looks like a mid-50s, just kind of trailer park guy with a baseball hat and everything. And I'm wondering, is this going to be one of those Uber rides where it's the guy doesn't talk the whole time, or the guy talks too much?
Okay,
and
so the best kind is when they don't talk at all, right?
I get my answer in the first 30 seconds when he's like, so who'd you vote for in the election?
Why would you ask that?
No one has ever asked me that until...
Oh my god.
And I had to just kind of avoid the question by saying I didn't really vote or anything. He's like, oh, well, I hope you didn't vote for Hillary. Her and the Democrats, they got a whole blood cult sacrificing...
The Demo-rats.
They got a whole blood cult in the White House that sacrificed children to the devil.
Oh, yes.
And
Do you think Matt believes in that? Do you think that's one of his conspiracies?
Yeah, but this is what Matt reminds me of, is this guy who's talking to me about all this stuff. And then it's when we pick up my brother, who's a 13-year-old, mind you, he's still talking about all this crazy shit.
Oh my god.
He's talking about Nazis having UFOs flying over Antarctica for test flight. And he's talking about, little minuscule universes with, praying mantis aliens that read your mind. And my brother's constantly challenging his logic as he's talking about this stuff.
He will drive all of you off a cliff if you challenge him. Just smile and nod and get the hell out of the car.
That's literally what I was trying to nudge him to. I'm like, Josh, shut the hell up. We just gotta get through this ride. But my brother's asking him do you believe in God? And I'm like, don't ask him that. You can't just ask someone if they believe in God.
But that reminds me that once when I was in the taxi driver asked me if I believed in God. Or no, it was at a convention. It was at what the fuck? It was at Dragon Con. in Atlanta. And so, like, the taxi driver, like, asked us what the convention was about, and we were like, yeah, it's like a nerd, sci-fi fantasy convention. And then he asked us, well, which do you believe? In God or in science fiction? And, like, we didn't know how to answer. We were
what
like,
the fuck, dude?
It's just for fun. Like, we don't want to have this conversation.
God or science fiction?
Just, like,
I guess
so
all of
weird.
science is fictional. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, we don't believe in science fiction. It's
You should have just told them that you're on your way to the Scientology Center.
Yeah, maybe.
And then that he would have backed off because no one wants to fuck with Scientologists.
Anyway, so moral of the story is, like, please, Uber drivers and taxi people, like, just don't be crazy, please. We just want to get to where we're going.
Like, the second I got out of that car, I had to call up my mother and tell her what happened. She didn't believe me for, like, a good minute there.
See, like, ordinarily, I would never give, like, an Uber driver, like, a bad rating, but that might be, like, the one time that I would, just because, like, that's some weird stuff.
I think I gave him 5 stars.
Oh my, don't!
I'm kidding,
I'm kidding.
But yeah, no, definitely one of the trippiest experiences I've ever had. Anyways, Matt's talk about conspiracies reminded me of that guy. But,
yeah.
Moving on to Gargoyles,
so there's one last scene.
Mm-hmm.
So we see atop Castle Wyvern, we see Owen and the Red Steel Clan bot up there. Or is it a Red Steel Clan bot? I don't know why I'm saying that. I already spoiled that. It takes off its helmet. It's Xanatos in a surprise
Oh my
reveal.
god!
Yeah, I cannot believe it's Xanatos. Owen says, it would appear that your plan to learn the Gargoyles' hiding place has gone awry, sir. And Xanatos is like, not really.
God.
I have the Eye of Odin back in my private collection. The city owes me a favor for donating it. I successfully tested this prototype battle exoframe, and the most important thing, yes sir, I was a little worried I might be getting soft, but I was able to stand up against Goliath, the greatest warrior alive. I'd say I've still got the edge.
God.
And there's just this little fucking smirk on his face as the credits roll.
God damn it. Like, literally all of this whole episode happened because Xanatos was having a midlife crisis.
It is! Like, that's literally the episode. He just has to convince himself that, like, he's
not
still
even
a cool guy.
He's not even, like, old or anything.
I don't know how old he's supposed to be.
Well, he's not, like, in his, like, 50s or 40s.
Like, I'd say he's, like, 30-something.
Yeah. Like, he's a handsome man. He's young. There's literally, like, no physical flaws with him. He's very good-looking, very tan. He's got, you know, the ponytail work for him.
He has a tight, chiseled butt. He has his hands in his pockets all the time.
What are we talking about again? We don't see enough of his ass.
I don't think we ever see it. He looks like Will Riker a little bit. It's funny that, like, the end of this episode is framed as, like, yeah, like, Xanatos has a victory. Even though, like, objectively, every single one of his plans do fail in this
it's
episode.
not even... I wouldn't say it's framed like that necessarily. I say it's framed as in Xanatos is a fucking, like, madman in which, like, when his thing doesn't work out, he has to, like, act like it does. Like, it's like we said before. It's like even when he's losing, he tries to convince himself he's winning.
All according to plan.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, yeah, it's like that's his outlook. Like, that's how much, like, confidence he always has. And, like, he never risks anything. He isn't, like, willing to lose. So, like, in that way, he's always able to stay in control. Basically, it's really interesting. That he's just, even when he loses, he looks on the bright side and is like, you know what, it's not so bad, because at least I found out that I'm still a badass.
Yeah.
Which is a lesson we can all learn from.
I wonder if Xanatos is familiar with the term God complex.
Probably. He probably thinks it applies to himself, too, and just doesn't care.
What I find is interesting... You know what? We've gone this far without me mentioning Wolf once.
Tell us about Wolf. How does this relate back to him?
I mean, pretty much 100%, except Wolf is a fucking dumbass moron who can't get anything done. So it's like, Wolf has that need to, like, combat and satisfy himself and convince himself he's the winner, just like Xanatos does, but
Right.
they're both on polar opposite ends of the intelligence spectrum.
I feel like the way Wolf expresses it is differently, because Xanatos expresses it by like playing mind games with everyone and like manipulating them to do what he wants them to.
Yes,
And,
yes.
and he can do it physically too. But with Wolf, it's like 100% physical. Like he just wants to know he can
he wants
physically dominate like anyone he wants to, and that's what makes him feel powerful.
Not necessarily anyone. I think Wolf has kind of like this stigmatization towards just like heavily built men.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I don't. Well, as we've said, he's not aware that women like even exist. They're invisible to him.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
only pays attention to like other strong men, so that he can bring them down and show that he is stronger than they are.
I mean, like, look at the scene where he's like holding Lexington in the Pack episode, and then he just like lets him go, and just to face off with Goliath, a real challenge.
Yeah,
like,
a real
there's
man.
so much coded just like he has a bara fetish.
Yeah, I mean, just like I do.
Just like, I feel like he would fit in well with this community, but he'd eventually get canceled.
Speaking of fitting in with the community, should we mention that you have an account that belongs to him? Should we keep that a secret? Should we
it's
should
not
we cut
really.
this from the
It's
podcast?
not really a secret, is the thing. I did make a Wolf roleplay account on Twitter, just to like tweet as Wolf in character because you know how much I fucking kin him.
Yes.
And I just felt like I needed an outlet for that.
So if I were to ask Wolf a question, you would answer it in character.
Absolutely.
Wolf.
Yes, I actually
I'll have to
hadn't
think of
thought of
something
that.
good.
That's actually a good idea. I don't want people to be creepy in the DMs because who wants that? But like,
Yeah.
you know, it's an open like RP account, I guess. Like one of those, but without, you know, the whole stealing art thing.
Yeah, because the only thing you steal is like screen caps from the show,
Yeah, honestly.
which is already public, right? Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's all private. What are you talking about? Gargoyles? No one's seen Gargoyles. This is all
Oh,
exclusive information we're
it's-
getting out there.
It's secrets.
It's so funny how I was like mostly quiet through all these like explanations of what happens in this episode. But the moment I find a reason to talk about Wolf, I start to like wake up a little. I'm like, oh my god.
If only Wolf had been in this episode.
I
you could have-
hate
you
I
could have
hate that my
talked so
brain
much
is
about
like
it.
this. I hate that my brain is like
But like,
What's
if you
wrong
think
with
about it,
me?
all the episodes are at least related to Wolf because
Oh.
some of the characters know him and he exists in the same planet that they are.
It's
on.
totally not me hyperfixating on a minor recurring character in a TV series from the 90s.
Uh-huh. Did you like this episode? Did you,
Uh,
what would you rate it?
I honestly, the animation looked really good, and I just feel like not a lot of progress was made other than just to show Xanatos's evil like mindset, which I thought was interesting, but you know, it's nothing particularly new to me. I would say probably a 3.5 out of 5 loincloths.
Yeah, that's what I gave it to. I give it a 3 out of 5 or a 3.5. It's like somewhere in there.
You're becoming a much more harsher critic than I am.
I don't know. Well,
Like, I thought it was going to be the other way around as we go along, but I'm...
maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I remembered this episode being better than it was, I think. I don't know. Like, I like Travis Marshall. I thought he was really cool.
I think Matt Bluestone just, like, ruined the whole episode.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Matt Bluestone is in it. Like, the Xanatos stuff is all really good. And, like, it is a really good Xanatos episode. And, like, it looks fantastic. And it sets up, like, the new status quo with their new home and everything of the Gargoyles. But, like, I don't know. It was good. It wasn't, like, great.
But, it's like... I think I was just virtually disinterested because in the same way where it's like whenever Xanatos was talking about like that one thing he wanted the Gargoyles to do in the Awakening 5-parter or whatever to like break into the place.
You just checked out mentally whenever he was talking.
Like when it comes to like having to understand his mind games and like the amount of thought he puts into his plans, I just space out. And I think that's kind of what happened here because it's like for the most part I was just trying to like, you know, be like, okay, so this his plans to get this and this done. And then that happened, and I didn't really know how to make a statement on that. I'm like, yeah. So it's like, I guess the thing that bothers me about this episode is that there's not really a lot to talk about that we don't already know. All that we learn, like, that's new is that he's still building robots, and he has,
so
like, a robot
not
suit.
Exactly a surprise. Like, yeah, the one thing, like, the one reveal we did get was that, like, he's Iron Man, basically. Because he has, like, his own, like, gargoyle suit that he can fly around in and shoot lasers from.
Yes.
Like, he's Tony Stark if Tony Stark was a very gay furry who had a domination kink.
Yeah, just about. Okay, so, I guess we can move on to our other categories. There's, I believe we get to choose who is the gayest character from the episode.
Who is the gayest character?
Probably Xanatos because of everything that he does.
Just because of that line that Goliath gives, that Xanatos wants to dominate them.
He wants to dominate us. Dominate us. Dominate us.
Well, yeah, and everything else.
Everything
But, like,
else is just like so he could like mentally dominate the Gargoyles, and he also had an intense wrestling session with Goliath in his robot suit. They probably.
Do you think that, like, he was just groping Goliath during that, and Goliath kept wondering, like, why does this robot keep, like, squeezing my junk and, like, grabbing me by the ass? Like, this is weird.
Do you think
that happened?
I feel like Xanatos at one point, like, grabbed Goliath's butthole, and he's just kind of like, oh man, I haven't touched this since I put the tracker in.
Do you think the first time Xanatos tried on this, the Steel Clan suit, he just, like, feverishly jerked off inside it? Because he got to be as strong as Goliath.
I feel like there's a lot of his DNA all over the robot. If you did like a UV light on that robot suit, it would be really bad.
Like, he's moved on from the Steel Clan box shoot dildos into his ass, and now he gets to be a Steel Clan.
Oh my god, this is technically like his fursuit. His gargoyle.
And he gets to shoot the dildos now into the Gargoyles' asses.
Oh, but it's like such an interesting thing that he models.
This is a fursuit for him.
That he models his fursuit after Goliath completely for like no reason.
What does that say about him? Like,
he
psychologically,
wants to be Goliath. He wants to be the strongest.
He wants to be Goliath, and he wants to fuck Goliath.
Oh my god, it's Wolf all over again. Why does Goliath have this effect on people?
He must have, like, a pheromone thing that, like, just everyone he meets wants to dominate him.
So it's kind of like the theory that Jason from the Friday the 13th movies emits, like, these sexual pheromones, and that's why everybody fucks when he's around.
Yes, it's just like that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I couldn't really think of any other contestants for gayest character.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was either him. I also had, like, Owen listed, but, like, Owen doesn't really do anything that gay in this episode, other than, like, give him oral in the showers, but they didn't even show that, the cowards.
We need, like, a scene between...
Maybe Travis Marshall. Maybe he's gay. There's really isn't much. I don't know. I didn't have much.
We need like a scene between Xanatos and Owen, just like that one scene between like Slade Wilson and his butler, where he's just like casually just changing clothes and getting naked around him.
His butler Wintergreen.
Yes, that's his name.
His extremely gay butler, who canonically is in love with him.
There is a romance going on behind the subtext.
There's subtext.
Yes.
What was the horniest moment that the animators just let slip into the episode?
I know what yours is.
You know what I'm trying to say.
But I want to throw in the fact that this episode literally starts out on just like a karate match between Owen and Xanatos.
Oh my god, that's not this.
How is that not horny? Like that's like the most chest
was...
I've ever seen of like Owen. And
yeah, like it was a horn. Okay, I thought you were gonna bring up your foot thing. That's why I was.
Oh well, that too. But I know you're not into that.
Yeah, that was pretty horny. I felt like they were very close, just like pinning each other down and like ripping each other's clothes off during that part.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was thinking. And it's the most attracted I've been to Owen so far.
Well, good. You know, we'll get you onto the Owen train one of these days.
I mean, you're just like slowly recruiting me.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, you know what mine is. It's when Broadway seductively licked his finger and pointed and made eye contact with me, myself, as I was sitting on the couch.
Honestly, I do have to say that brief scene of animation outdoes the karate match.
Like, why did they draw it like that? And
what
was it even supposed to
They
convey?
know Broadway is a fucking hottie, okay?
Like, I feel like he makes that gesture when he's like, first he's like, I'm gonna lick my finger and then insert it into your ass. And then I'm gonna sit on your face, is what his expression said to me.
Like, yeah, that's pretty much exactly...
Like that brief second of him doing that had more expression than Matt Bluestone had in this entire episode.
God, there's, like, so much more horny, like, Broadway scenes than I thought there were. Like, he's just a big guy, and he does,
he's
like...
really big.
I like the way he looks from that angle, too, when he does it. Like, I like that angle where, like, guys' shoulders look, like, super fucking beefy, and, like, they have their arm muscles and stuff. That's just, that's just, like, really resonating with me on a
It was a good
level.
Scene. Okay, let me check our email. I know we have at least one.
We have one, yes.
Okay,
I think
there is one. Would you like to read it?
I got it now. Hello, so that Snarky Remy writes, "Hello again, Loincloth Hour crew. Thanks for the kind words on my last two emails. They put a big smile on my face. And what a fantastic episode covering Enter Macbeth. You guys excelled. From poking fun at the animation and Macbeth's faces to all your takes on the happenings, such as Owen's scenes and the whole electric cage thing, this episode was a hoot. And I'd say your funniest one yet. And then the regurgitate thing near the end of the episode discussion hit me like a freight train all of a sudden. I laughed so hard that pancreatic juice and bile squirted into my duodenum?
What?
I don't know what that word is. Duodenum.
Are you... Is he alright? Wait, is that... That sounds...
No, but no, it's like an expression.
That sounds like a medical thing. Is he okay?
It's like an expression saying he laughed so hard that I don't know what this means, but
okay. I hope it was a good experience.
I mean that was a very funny scene from that episode where like
I don't even remember it. I don't think I said anything like that.
Like Owen blew Goliath, and Goliath's like, send your message to your master, and then Owen goes back to Xanatos, and I was gonna say he blows Xanatos next, but then you said, and then he just regurgitates Goliath's splooge into his mouth.
Why are we talking about it again?
Because it's funny. He feeds him like a bird in his nest.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
You're the one who said it to begin with.
It was not my finest moment, or was it?
It was. You're just too intimidated by how powerful it was.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
So, he goes into a lot about the timeline. So, should I get into all of this right now?
I've read this already. I have to admit, I'm a little confused by this timeline. Like, are the episodes themselves, like, out of order?
I guess, like, the main thing he puts here is that we were pointing out how the calendar from Xanatos' prison cell was October 31st was the day he was getting out, but according to that snarky Remy, like, October 31st had already passed, and that's an out-of-date calendar he's using.
But why would he be using an out-of-date calendar?
I
Like,
don't-
that's what's confusing me.
Okay, the
I don't
calendar
know.
on his wall is outdated, not even from 1994, he says. What?
I mean,
Okay.
like, well,
No,
apparently- okay.
I mean, everything he says here is pretty fucking thorough.
Well, this is per Greg Weisman's own revelations. It's you can read this out if you want to. I don't know.
Okay, so
Whatever. I'm
So-
cool. I'm down.
timeline so far: Gargoyles wake up from their 1,000-year slumber on October 4th, 1994.
Are you rapping it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not really rapping. I'm more like slam poetry, and
Nice.
rapping would be like rhyming, and I would need a beat for that.
Oompa, 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 oompa.
The events of Awakening Part 5 take place on October 7th. As seen in Enter Macbeth, Xanatos anticipates being released by October 31st, the date of his next pre-trial appearance. This happens on October 28th, and the calendar on his wall... We'll just tweet it out.
Okay.
We'll tweet it out.
There is a timeline, everyone, and it does all fit together.
Right
Probably.
now,
Maybe.
as of this episode's events, it takes place January 12th to the 14th of 1995. And there
Great. Oh,
and-
they had a new year. I hope they celebrated.
yeah. Could you imagine the Gargoyles celebrating New Year's together?
Yes, and all kissing each other.
I need to write this. I need to write anything. I haven't written anything in like forever. I
You
need
should.
to change that.
You should
Okay.
write Hudson spank porn for me.
I should. Oh, and there we go. Regarding the timeline, Remy continues. Should I work in the timeline for you guys on each episode in my emails? Let me know if you'd like me to. I don't mind it. I've always been a details geek. To that, I say you don't have to every email. Like, that's definitely not necessary at all. But if you want to, I mean, like, there's no one who's gonna say you can't.
Like,
But-
we appreciate your attention to detail and that you're willing... That definitely you're willing to correct us
Yeah.
when we fuck things up.
We didn't
I
fuck things
highly
up.
appreciate
We
that.
literally saw the calendar in the episode.
Well, we were confused by the calendar. Yeah.
Yeah. We just didn't know because we had to go behind the scenes and find
Like,
out that the...
How would we know it's an out-of-date calendar? Like,
We
how would a
wouldn't.
viewer know that? That's I call bullshit on Greg Weisman on that one. I think he's just trying to cover his own ass.
Okay,
after
but
the fact.
I think like a lot of like what Greg Weisman says post the show is kind of him trying to still collect that universe together, but also trying to make sense of what the fans have already known and seen, despite it being a Disney cartoon.
Yeah, probably. You know, he's still trying to keep it alive, add
Yes.
details to it,
And
have it
then
coalesce his vision.
And then he finishes off the email with, looking forward to your thoughts on The Edge. Personally, I don't think it's a bad episode, but it's not one I call great. It's more like adequate. It had some action, Goliath being pissed a lot, and Xanatos often stealing the show. And it also fully brings in Bluestone and his Illuminati obsession, which is a big fat blah. That's all for now.
Yeah.
Thanks again for keeping us entertained, guys, and keep up the great work.
Aw, thank you so much. Yeah, I feel like our thinking is very closely aligned with Ryan's
Yeah,
on
no,
this episode.
absolutely, 100%. I pretty much said the same thing. Like, the only new information we learn is that Xanatos has a power suit or whatever, a gargoyle fursuit, and that Elisa now has to drag this
Oh my God.
this
Little dingleberry around.
this weird conspiracy theorist podcast around. Yeah, I feel like he would have his own podcast.
Yeah,
talking
if
about
the
the
show was
Illuminati.
made today, he'd definitely have a podcast.
Matt Bluestone and the Illuminati, the Gargoyles spin-off podcast coming to a theater near you.
A
Whoa.
theater.
Why were you British when you said that?
You said it like that.
I was
And I
more
was
like, I was more like a New Yorker, I thought.
The theater. I don't
I don't
know.
know,
How
I-
New Yorkers say theater anymore. I haven't lived there for a while.
The thing is, like, I can try and sound British, but like my voice is like so southern at this point.
By the way, I've been to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and
Oh,
they typically do not have magical artifacts just displayed.
That you know
Which-
of.
That I know of. Actually, yeah, anything that's there, I guess, could be magical.
Yeah,
maybe.
so your entire conclusion is thrown out the window. Boom.
Damn. Fuck.
Matt, you got Matt Bluestoned. I'm gonna make a fucking Matt Bluestone
No.
Archie account, and then I'm
That's
just gonna.
not a thing.
I'm gonna tweet out all these crazy conspiracies like, bruh, did you guys
got
hear
Matt
this whack?
Bluestoned.
This,
No!
oh, it's fine. It's great. It's great.
I just think it's funny that, like, he's been working with this woman for, like, not even a full day yet, and he's already telling her about the Illuminati. Like, give me a fucking
This is
break,
why
Matt.
he's single and can't get a date.
It is, and why he has no friends.
What a loser.
Like, he just has to turn it off for, like, leave that for, like, a week or so, and then you can start in on it.
Yeah. Well,
He's like that Uber driver you had.
okay. I wouldn't go that far.
He can't turn it off.
He reminds me of the Uber driver. I'll say that much. I don't know. Do we have anything more to say?
I don't. I think we covered the edge.
Yeah.
The edging of
The
Xanatos.
edging
He was
of
edging
Xanatos.
himself the whole episode. That's why
He
it's called
was.
that.
This whole episode was just so Xanatos could get his nut.
Yeah, then he finally did at the end. He creamed himself all over the castle. And then Owen had to lick it up off the stone, like he usually does.
That's hot.
It's not hot.
I don't know. Should we leave
Can
it
you
on
imagine?
that?
Okay, hold on. I just had a thought.
Okay.
What if... Okay, well, Goliath was stoned during the day. What if Xanatos, like, gave him a facial, and then Goliath had to, like, wake up with his face just, like, covered in cum? And
No,
just
but
not
the
knowing...
the rocks explode off his body, so the cum would explode off his body, and he'd never know.
Oh. Wow. Well, so maybe that has happened then already.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think we've talked about just like Xanatos,
Have
just like
we?
really. No, I mean he's just like feeling up like the statues when they're stoned during the day, and Owen's probably just like watching off to the side, like, God, I wish that were me.
I wish he were polishing me. Yeah. Well, good episode, good talk.
Good
Thanks
times.
for listening, everyone.
Good times.
You can find me. I'm the Manly Unicorn on Twitter. I'm Croup on Fur Affinity. I'm Manicorn on Patreon. You go now.
I move in the shadows. No one
Okay.
can find me or see me.
You're Batman. Or Nightcrawler.
Yes. Oh, that'd be hot. I want to be a Nightcrawler or Batman. I'd rather be a Nightcrawler.
He can teleport, and he's blue, and he has a tail.
And he's hot.
And he's hot. He has a really nice butt.
He does.
And he has to be boyfriends with Wolverine.
He
Like, there's a lot going
does!
for Nightcrawler. He's funny, he's charming.
I used to look at like a lot of ship art with like him and like Wolverine. The whole
Yeah.
the Logert thing on like DeviantArt. That's their ship name is Logert.
I love it. It reminds me of, like, Yogurt.
Yeah, and that's why it's the ship name. I think that's why they went with it.
That's so cute.
All right, I'm leaving it at that.